You spent the 80 million the bank mistakenly transferred, all at once on unfinished real estate. All because you applied for an 8,000 loan from the bank and were rejected 365 times. But then your phone received a mistaken transfer of 80 million, with the sender showing as Zhejiang Engineering. Anyone who's dealt with this money knows. You can't touch it. If you do, you'll go to jail. While you were thinking about all this, you suddenly awakened the debtor default system. Oh, 10,000 a month, and that's 1 point. You look at the system's seemingly ordinary feature. That can actually change your life. You can't help but get excited. 8,000 a month, 96,000 a year. Doing a few years in jail means tens of thousands of points. As long as you can keep this money, it'll be a goose that lays golden eggs. Even if you really end up in jail, you could trade the technology for a sentence reduction. Maybe you'll even get out as a king. After a few years inside, you'll come out at max level. You'll dominate the tech world. You start thinking about how you can keep this money. How can you spend 80 million quickly? Transfers won't work. Even spending it normally won't work. Both are easy to be reversed. Buying cars or houses takes too long, and that will get reversed too. Suddenly, a light bulb goes off in your mind. Buy unfinished buildings. Those developers are already up to their eyeballs in debt, about to jump off buildings. If this money gets into their hands, it'll disappear without a trace in 5 minutes. Because a lot of people are after their money. For a bank to get it back from people like that, it's basically impossible. Plus, the key is, if the developer has money and settles debts, will they keep taking loans? If they keep borrowing, these buildings may not stay unfinished and might even make a profit. Even if the developer runs away, you'll still get the points. As long as you get the points, you won't lose out. Worst case, you go to jail or pay back the 80 million later. It's the 21st today. If you drag it out for 9 days, you'll get 8,000 points. So you look up the latest unfinished projects, take out your phone, and call the sales office. Hello? A crisp female voice answers. I'd like to buy a house. Sorry, sir. Excuse me, what did you say? The other side is quite shocked. I think you guys and your boss can make it through this. I want to buy a house, and I want to buy several more. Prices for your homes are pretty low right now, right? Ask your boss. Sir. Sir. Hold on, the person finds it hard to believe. What, you think buying here will get me promoted? Are you messing with me? Promoted my ass. I'm about to ascend to heaven. Wang Yaosu, boss of Wang Real Estate, is dumbfounded. Really, President Wang, the caller wants to buy several units and asked about our current pricing. Give me their number. I've seen my share of suckers, but never one walking into a loss begging for it. This guy is crazier than someone joining the Nationalist Army in 49. Wang Yaozu gets skeptical. Soon after, a strange number calls in. Hello, are you the one looking to buy a house? Wang Yaozu's voice is full of suspicion. That's me, you reply coolly. I want to know your current pricing, the price for Hengya Langquan. Are you sure you're not up to something? To be honest with you, if you're just trying to get some inside info from me, I'll tell you directly. Right now, the bank's got a 300 million yuan loan coming due. I've borrowed all I can, but what I have falls way short. I'm ready to sell the project. If you're a homeowner, there's no need to worry about the project being left unfinished. Yunhai Group is taking over Hengya Langshuan. But at that time, most likely, you'll each have to pay a fee to the new company. The project will keep going. Wang Yaozu is still suspicious. Yunhai Group? You raise an eyebrow. You've heard long ago Yunhai Group, the Key family, wanted to enter the real estate business. Didn't think it was real. Plus, they're pretty sneaky about it. You smirk knowingly. Suddenly, you're amused. This is the one. President Wang gives in. You test him, does he really care? Damn, those people get scared off easily. But there's nothing I can do, Wang curses. Totally helpless. Even if you reach out, brother, there's nothing I can do. But don't worry, I've always done business with integrity. Our previous projects have great reputation, you can check. There's nothing I can do about this one. I just have to accept it. Even if you kill me, I can't come up with the money to finish the buildings just like that. You're a homeowner, right? Let's wait and see. I won't forget this on my word. After 2 years, whatever extra you pay Yunhai, I'll pay you back. He's actually got a conscience. You're surprised to yourself. How about this come to me? I've got money and want to buy a house. I'm serious. Maybe this money can help you, brother. Even if you buy 10 apartments, so what? To tell the truth, the issue here isn't the money. Wang only manages a bitter smile. I have 80 million. You say calmly. What? Wang is shocked. 80 million? Are you serious? If you truly have 80 million, I'll sell you an entire 11-story building, 2 stairwells, 44 apartments, plus parking and storage. But I've got to say this first. It's not just a matter of money, it's about offending people. That really is a jump off a building price. You gasp in surprise. Even though the area is a bit remote, it's got a lot of potential. When others bought, it was 2.6 million per unit, and now it's not even 1.82 million, with parking included. And storage is at a 40% discount. As for making enemies, that doesn't matter. I've just got 2 questions. You stand up and pace around to Yongcheng Bank. Do you have connections for large sums transfer? If I want to wire money now. President Wang nods. That loan's from head office. They're desperate right now. Even late at night, they'd help out. Second, if the money gets taken back, can you guarantee its safety? You ask again. President Wang is dumbfounded. After a pause, responds, Brother, is this dirty money? Does dirty or not matter to you? You counter. True, Wang ponders for a moment. 80 million. Fine, I'll handle it. When do you want to close the deal? Right now. Every minute you wait is more risk. You give President Wang the address and hang up the phone. 15 minutes later, the sound of knocking at the door. You open the door. What you see before you is a fat man. There are 2 people behind him, probably worried about being scammed. He brought bodyguards. He sits down on a single sofa you point to. Then he hands his bank card to the fat man, Boss Wang. Now it's your turn. Boss Wang is rather plain looking. He seems a bit disheveled. Hasn't even washed his hair? Leave it to me, he says as he sits down after hearing this. He first verifies the money in your card, then pulls out his phone and starts making calls. Hello, Brother Liu, hey? Of course, hey, look. Got the money. I'll pay you back right away. Half an hour. Okay, I'm basically asking for a favor here. My younger brother transferred me the money, but since it's a large transfer, you need to authorize it. Thanks. I'll buy you a drink next time. He hangs up the call. Boss Wang gives you a slight nod. Then he makes a few more phone calls. Kanzi owes your company money. I'll transfer it to you in a bit, but you have to lend me more. Don't worry, I found a way. We'll pull through this time. Brother Gao, hey, still survived. Relax. Just need to move some funds through your account. As repayment and as a new loan. No problem, relax. Old you, do me a favor. Don't worry, really. Just making an account transfer. Alright, let's meet up next time. A string of calls goes out. At this point, you also get a text. The temporary large transfer function you applied for is now active. Please complete your personal large transfer within 2 hours. This function is available in the transfer and remittance section. Thank you for supporting our bank. We wish your business great success. Boss Wang reaches over and takes your phone. He opens the bank section, quickly enters his own account. Soon he gets a transfer notification on his phone. He hands your phone back to you, then picks up his own phone and unlocks it. Quickly goes through several accounts, transfers different amounts to them. Some are several million, some are over 10 million. There are 2 transfers of over 20 million each. A few minutes later, continuous text notifications start coming in. Boss Wang picks up his phone to check. Each of the transferred amounts come back, labeled as loans. He then transfers these funds to the company's account, and then takes out a loan under the company's name. After all this is done, he scrolls through his call records, makes another call, Hello, Brother Liu. Did you receive it? Alright, so this loan is settled. Finally met the right person for help. Okay, so my new loan. Alright, give it 2 days. We'll meet and talk it over then. They chat for a little while, then hang up. Boss Wang visibly breathes a sigh of relief. Big smile on his face, but his forehead is covered in sweat. Clearly, he was under a serious pressure just now. Thanks a lot, brother. If you ever need anything from me in the future, don't hesitate to ask. He wipes the sweat off, gestures to the bodyguard to bring over a portfolio, takes out a thick stack of contracts. Take a look, if all's good. Just sign for Hengya Langshuan, the best location of all. I specially held on to it, didn't sell. Wanted to wait for the prices to go up. But now it's all yours, brother. Consider it a thank you from me. You didn't look much at it. Wouldn't have understood it anyway.
To him.
As long as he gets the points, it's fine. If the contract is fake, the bank wouldn't let this fat guy off anyway. As for you, all that's left is to deal with the bank chasing you. Alright, once you sign the contract, you both put down your fingerprints and stamp it. Then you each keep a copy. This deal is over. Brother, this money of yours. Boss Wang starts getting curious. Guess there's no harm in saying. You reply calmly. The bank made a transfer error. Is that for real? Boss Wang clearly doesn't believe it. You show him the text message. Old Wang's jaw drops in shock. He gives you a thumbs up saying, "You're a real tough one, brother. You're really ruthless. You could go to jail for this. No wonder you're not afraid of upsetting anyone. I might not end up in jail." You say meaningfully, "This is money I earned. The bank can't deny it. Once I've spent all my money, it's your money the bank will be after." Apparently, old Wang realizes this too. He immediately feels a chill on his scalp, especially since these are large transfers. And it was he who helped enable it. This is real trouble. He used to think you were embezzling public funds. Or maybe funds from overseas. Something you could just go to court over. If I keep dragging this out, what could you do about it? But this is money from the bank. A local bank too. Now we're in deep trouble. He suddenly regrets it. Even old Liu from the provincial office won't escape. We're all screwed. And forget about getting more loans from the bank. It's all ruined. You try to keep his spirits up. You speak again. You've gone under. So have your connections at the bank. City funds have disappeared. The bank is desperate to get its money back. So where's the money? You don't have it either. Which means the bank can only lend you more. So you can keep building houses. Only when the houses are built will there be money for everyone. Everyone gets through this. There will be no unfinished buildings. Your crisis is over. Even if Yunhai Group wants to make a move, they'll have to check who's backing you now. The bank, the city government, and all the noisy homeowners. This is the best possible plan. Everyone's safe now. When you finish building and selling the property, my building's value will double. The bank not only gets its money back, but makes a big profit. Why wouldn't they go for it? Even if they don't, there will always be someone who wants to turn 80 million into 150 million next year. Right? I may not go to jail. Everyone has a bright future ahead. On the way back, Boss Wang sits in the back of his Mercedes. The more he thinks about it, the more mysterious you seem. Just unbelievable. Incredible, he sighs. This young man did all this just because of a mistaken bank transfer. Managed to do so much with it. Snatching chestnuts from the fire. Really something else. Is he really that impressive? The boss's bodyguard can't help but ask curiously. More impressive than you think. Old Wang agrees seriously. He says in a low voice, "Don't talk about what happened today for now." Got it, boss. An old detached courtyard house in traditional Chinese style. The girl shifts from confident to panicked. It took less than a minute. What's going on? Why are you so flustered? Is there something so urgent that you can't even eat? A middle-aged man wearing an apron spoke softly. He was still holding 2 plates of food.
He said with a bit of reproach, "Normally you say I'm busy."
I don't keep you company, but today I finally came back. I already made you a couple of dishes early on. Is this how you treat me? The young girl's face turned a bit pale. She said, I messed up. I made a mistake with a payment. 80 million. The middle-aged man's brows furrowed slightly. Then he nodded. Calm and unruffled.
He said without a trace of emotion, "Remember this lesson.
Be careful with your work. Money can't just disappear. Just get it back. Don't worry about it. If you get criticized, just take it. Treat it as a learning experience. If you get fired, then just find another job. It's no big deal. Don't rush things. Rushing doesn't solve anything. Think before you act. Think twice before doing anything. All right, I got it. Always lecturing me. I'm leaving. The girl felt overwhelmed. She put on her shoes, grabbed her keys, and hurried out. Her phone kept vibrating nonstop. You looked at the unfamiliar number on the screen. Clicked the speakerphone. Hello? An anxious voice spoke. It sounded like a young girl. She didn't sound very old. This is Chun Yang. You answered, hello. Mr. Chun Yang, sorry to bother you. I made a mistake with a transfer 2 hours ago. I just checked. The money has already been transferred out. May I ask what you used the money for? The girl from Mianyang sounded a bit anxious, but still remained polite. Her tone was pretty good too. You couldn't help but feel a little guilty. This girl is probably going to lose her job. I bought a stalled real estate project. You replied calmly. A property at Hangya Langshuan. The developer doesn't have the money to continue building. So I just spent the full 80 million and bought all their units. Now they have the funds to finish the construction. Don't worry, once the project is finished, I'll sell the units. Once I get the money, I'll pay you back. The girl was stunned. She sounded like she was about to cry. She said, please don't joke around. Even if it's an unfinished project, you'd still buy it. What if they still don't build it? If they run away, isn't that your problem? You couldn't help but want to tease her. You said, your bank already put up 80 million. So just put up some more. Why not just become the one who bails them out? Just wait, once it's done, you still make money. We only do finance, not real estate. The girl became anxious. Just then, a sudden commotion was heard. And then someone else picked up the phone. Hello, this is Zhao Jiangzhou, branch manager of Yongcheng. I'm warning you, this money was transferred by mistake. It's considered illegal gains. That's a criminal offense. Then come and arrest me. You said calmly. When I did all this, I was already prepared for jail. I live at Unit 6, 6th floor, West Apartment, Wadong Lane, Wenhua Street. Go ahead and call the police. Are you really determined to be a deadbeat, huh? Zhao Zhengwo was furious. Calm down. Getting worked up won't solve anything. Think carefully. If you can't figure it out, then just call the police. The other party didn't get it. Didn't realize what you meant. So you didn't say much more. Hung up the phone. So arrogant, too arrogant. In the conference room at the Yongcheng branch, a group of people had mixed expressions. Only the Mianyang girl seemed lost in thought. She looked dazed. Worried, she sat in her chair. Manager, what do we do now? Do we call the police? Wait, no. Manager Zhao sat down in his chair, frowning and thinking for a moment. Suddenly he said, that's right. Check his background. An ordinary person can't transfer that much money. Someone must be helping him. Is there an inside man? Also, check Wang Yaozu's accounts. See where the money went. Use all available connections. This can't be kept under wraps. But if we can at least provide an explanation and get the money back, the higher-ups won't fuss too much. Even though there's a lot of money involved, after all, it's just a simple mistaken transfer. Everyone's face changed slightly. Just mentioning there's an inside man is pretty scary. They couldn't help but look at the girl. She turned pale as well. She really did make a mistake. It was just human error at work. But if she gets labeled as the inside man, she'd be considered an accomplice. But at this moment, no one cared about her reaction anymore. Manager Zhao pounded the table. Let's get started, everyone. Soon, all the relevant materials were brought before Manager Zhao. He looked over the documents, his face turning to disbelief. The others looked equally stunned. They all found it hard to believe. The money was received for less than 20 minutes, before it was transferred out right away. Such decisiveness. Manager, right after the money reached Wang Yaozu's account, within a minute, it was transferred into 8 accounts. All were company accounts. Two of them weren't even small companies. Some were companies from the provincial capital, and some were from here in Yongcheng. We called them and asked, and they all said it was to pay back money Wang Yaozu owed. Manager, based on my investigation of Wang Yaozu and his company accounts, those 8 companies, in just a few minutes, each sent money back to Wang Yaozu's company account as loans. 8 transfers in total, totaling exactly 80 million. And it gets even crazier. Manager Wang Yaozu's company account, within 3 minutes of receiving the money, transferred the funds to the headquarters, citing a bank loan repayment. The person in charge of this loan is Deputy Manager Liu at headquarters. We found him, manager. According to a reply from HQ, your account was temporarily opened to allow large transfers. It was Deputy Manager Liu who called a colleague at HQ to set it up. So the inside man is Deputy Manager Liu. Everyone was shocked and in disbelief. Manager Zhao was stunned. The inside man is someone way above. He immediately took out his phone and dialed. Deputy Manager Liu was his former boss. He had climbed up the ladder from Yongjiang branch. If something happened to him, he'd be in trouble too. This is big trouble. It was you who approved the large transfer of 80 million. Okay, I'll wait for your call. Hung up the phone. Manager Zhao slumped into his seat, feeling dizzy and faint. It was just a mistaken transfer. So why does it involve so many people? Before, it was always easy to get the money back. Yongcheng is the capital city of Dongjiang province. Both the headquarters and the branch are in Yongcheng. In the office of the deputy manager at headquarters, Deputy Manager Liu furiously dialed the phone. He was so mad he nearly had a stroke. You bastard, what are you doing with this dirty money? And you want me to help you open a large credit line? Have you lost your mind? Old Wang's calm voice sounded. Is it me who's crazy? Brother Liu, this is my only way out. Do you really think I'm crazy? Vice President Liu fell silent. He felt a massive headache coming on. He had encountered a desperate man. It seemed. This has nothing to do with me. The one who didn't approve your loan, and was even calling in your debts, was the other vice president, the one named Joe. I don't care who did it. Now we're all stuck in this hole together. We live together, or we die together. Live my ass, Vice President Liu said, suppressing his anger. Just this one thing. If it gets leaked, I'm finished. Do you realize that? No, you still have a way out. Old Wang repeated the idea you came up with, over the phone once again. So do you get it now? You're already in the water with me. You have no choice. And think about it this way. As long as this building gets finished, it's worth 1.5 billion. If the bank takes it, you'll get all the credit. If an individual takes it, there's a net profit of 70 million in a year. The choice is yours. As long as this passes smoothly, I'll be fine and you'll be fine. The Yongcheng branch will be fine. You'll be fine. Everyone will be fine. Everyone has a bright future. Selling a building for 80 million, Old Wang was reluctant too. But he had no other choice. Yunhai Group has too much influence. No one is willing to offend them. It's good enough just to survive. If it weren't for your unexpected appearance, his fate would have been sealed. Hearing this, Vice President Liu fell into silence. If it were before, he definitely wouldn't have been willing to help. A profit of tens of millions. He certainly wanted it, but taking it meant offending Yunhai Group. The other party is also one of the pillar enterprises in Yongcheng. Now the only way is to make a scene and drag more and bigger people into the water. He must save himself now. Even if it costs him, he has to save himself. Is that kid willing to transfer the contract? That's 70 million in profit. You guys can't just take all the profit for yourselves, right? Hearing this, Old Wang knew the other party had compromised.
He smiled. After all, he won't have to go to jail.
Without your help, he wouldn't be able to make that money either. It's still negotiable. Take a smaller cut, or ask him what his conditions are. Everything is negotiable. After all, it involves Yunhai Group. Vice President Liu looked troubled again, saying, Yunhai Group's status in our province. You couldn't possibly not know. They just lift a finger, and you almost went into bankruptcy liquidation. I can't handle this pressure. I have to ensure the profit is enough to drag others in with me. Even if you can't handle it, you have to. Otherwise, it's death. Old Wang said indifferently, this is the only chance. The stage has been set for me. If I don't take a gamble, won't I be a laughingstock to that young man? Sorry, old you. Damn it, I'm going all in. Vice President Liu slapped the table and said, at my level, can they just fire me directly? I have people above me too. There's bound to be someone who can withstand the pressure and wants this money. The loan you applied for before, I've approved it. It'll be in your account once this is done. The rest is up to you. Don't worry, old Wang laughed heartily. In this place called Yongcheng, I still have some capabilities. Yunhai Group planned for so long, but all the influence they built up will be exhausted this time. Changing industries is like moving mountains. A company that started with bottled water, recklessly meddling in real estate. How much expertise do they even have in this industry? Let's leave it at that. Vice President Liu was a bit irritable and hung up the phone immediately. He took a deep breath, solemnly picked up the phone again and dialed. At the Yongcheng branch, Zhao Jiangwo hung up the phone, sighed in relief and looked at everyone. Everyone was staring at Zhao Jiangwo at this moment, waiting for an answer. Zhao Jiangwo smiled and said, the matter is settled. Someone will come over tomorrow morning. I'll accompany them to check things out then. It shouldn't have any impact on our branch. You all go back and rest now. Off work, that's great. It's finally over. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief and stood up to leave one after another. The young girl, Lu Wangshu, looked at Zhao Jiangguo expectantly. Zhao Jiangguo thought for a moment and said, Lu Wangshu, go home and reflect on this first. Remember this lesson. If this incident passes smoothly, you'll be fine. If it doesn't, I understand. Lu Wangshu nodded repeatedly, secretly breathing a sigh of relief. None of that mattered anymore. As long as she wasn't an accomplice or an inside mole, it was fine. Late at night, Lu Wangshu rode her electric scooter home. Just as she changed her shoes, the lights came on. She then realized her dad was still sitting on the sofa, holding his phone. Dad, Lu Wangshu's eyes welled up with tears. She felt warmed, yet also a bit aggrieved. She walked over and sat down beside her father. The middle-aged man remained calm and composed, saying indifferently, Is it resolved? It should be resolved. But it's probably not over yet. She wasn't entirely sure. Lu Wangshu recounted the events and how they developed, from beginning to end. The middle-aged man pondered for a moment, then suddenly smiled. This is quite interesting. The key family lineage of Yunhai Group ended up with nothing this time. That's actually a good thing. The owners of Wang's real estate have been protesting for days. It's always better if they can solve it themselves. You're still laughing? I was scared to death, Lu Wangshu said, sounding exasperated. You have no idea. They all suspected there was an inside mole. I almost became an accomplice. If I had become an accomplice, you'd be finished too. Not even a little bit finished. The middle-aged man raised his voice with a bit of dominance, then chuckled, comforting his daughter in a low voice. This matter can't withstand scrutiny. Just set your mind at ease. I don't know how it will develop further. I'm afraid I might lose my job.
Hearing this, Lu Wangshu
sighed like an old man. The middle-aged man smiled and stood up, saying, There's profit to be made here. Someone will definitely come to pick the fruit. No one made a move before, because of Yunhai Group's reputation. Now there's a bold young man who has trampled Yunhai Group's reputation into the mud. Naturally, they won't have so many qualms anymore. Although Wang's real estate sold at a low price and lost a lot in a life-or-death crisis, that's nothing. That kid, whether he knows it or not, has completely offended Yunhai Group. The aftermath is that everything temporarily returns to normal, and Yunhai takes a massive loss. Wang's family made a killing. As for whether that kid gained or lost, It all depends on how he sees it himself. If it wasn't just a lucky coincidence, then it must have been something amazing. That's a scheme you can't outmaneuver. Even if it was just luck, being able to take advantage of the situation, risking it all for a reward, means that kid isn't simple either. He's quick-witted and does things his own way. He's quite talented. You were just caught in the crossfire. Don't overthink it. Go get some rest. No staying up late. Rented apartment complex. You waited for a while, but no police ever came knocking. He got the message and ordered delivery food. Ate a couple bites just to fill up. Spent a few hours on his phone, learning about this world. Then went to bed early. Early the next morning. His body hadn't slept in so late in ages. It really felt refreshing. After washing up, you cooked some noodles to eat and turned on the TV. The TV was airing the morning news. Everything in the news was calm. The country was at peace. People were safe, as if nothing had happened yesterday. Just then, the sound of knocking came. You turned off the TV and got up to answer the door. There were two people standing outside. One young man, one middle-aged man. "Hello, I'm Hu Guangyu. Nice to meet you." The young man extended his hand. He was thin, wearing a well-fitted suit, with a warm and refined smile. "Hello," you smiled, and invited them inside. Seeing how simple the rental was, the two grew even more curious about you. So calm and composed. What exactly is giving him this confidence? While both marveled and wondered, they also felt a bit concerned. Someone like this negotiation won't be so easy. "Have a seat," you invited them to sit down, and offered, "What would you like to drink?" "Just a glass of plain water is fine." Hu Guangyu spoke out of habit, but halfway through, he realized asking for coffee in a place like this would be too much. You hadn't boiled any after glancing at the kettle. You thought for a moment, stood up and took out 2 big bottles of iced tea from beside the sofa, put them in front of the two, smiled and said, "Let's have some tea. Party-sized bottles are a better deal." "Does this even count as tea?" Zhao Jiangwo kept silent. Hu Guangyu truly didn't mind, and said, "I actually loved this stuff back in school. Haven't had it in years though. Let's drink this then." I have to say, compared to a second-generation businessman like Qi Yumin, Hu Guangyu is much more reserved and mature. "The two of you aren't just here for tea, are you?" Seeing that Hu Guangyu was showing a lot of respect, you also got straight to the point. "We're here for that building in your hands." Zhao Jiangwo spoke up, saying in a deep voice, the building was bought with bank money. Even though it was a mistake, it is, after all, illegal gains. We've studied the matter. Since a mistake was made, we should try our best to make up for it. As for the money earned, we will make another payment. This matter will then be settled. No prison time, but the building goes to us. There shouldn't be much to argue about, right? Hey, you smiled at his words and said, "How about this? I'll make the amends. The building stays with me, and I'll find someone to give you 80 million. The issue is resolved all the same." "Is that so?" Zhao Jiangwo fell silent. "All right, Uncle Zhao. Stop testing him." Hu Guangyu rubbed his forehead helplessly and said, "Brother Chan isn't stupid. Giving you a building worth 150 million in a year. Besides, if this is investigated further, Brother Chan won't be the only one in trouble. I'm here this time, mainly to help you and Uncle Liu solve your problems. Profit, on the other hand, isn't important. We're all in the same boat now. Since we're all trying to fix the mistake and resolve this matter, then let's speak openly." As he spoke, he looked at Brother Chun. "This matter involves the Yunhai Group, the Yongcheng branch, and Vice President Liu from the head office alone won't be able to withstand the pressure. If you refuse to let go, the result will be mutual destruction. The Yongcheng branch goes down. Uncle Liu from the head office is ousted. You go to jail, Wang Yaozu doesn't get the loan. The building remains unfinished. And in the end, it only benefits the Yunhai Group. My old man can hold the line. But even though it's helping Uncle Liu and Uncle Zhao get out of it, it's still something that offends people. Tell me your conditions. As long as they aren't excessive, I can make the call. Now we're talking." You smiled upon hearing this, glanced at Zhao Jiangzhuo, and said, "Actually, I'm not interested in the building, but I'm very interested in debt. Like this 80 million. You lend me 80 million, and this building is yours. By this time next year, when the building is sold for 150 million, I'll repay the 80 million loan with interest. It's equivalent to having no conditions. Pure profit? Impossible. Hu Guangyu shook his head, saying helplessly, "It's not that I don't believe you, but the fact is, you have no business experience. Lending you 80 million, I'm afraid I won't even get 80,000 back. How about this? Listen to my conditions. 10 million. I'll give you 10 million. You transfer the building to me, and everything that follows has nothing to do with you. It's equivalent to a pure profit of 10 million. How about that? A windfall. Profiting from it, obtaining 10 million in wealth with empty hands. You've made a huge profit too. If it were me, the money would be secondary. I could brag about this for half my life. 10 million, you pondered. This was indeed a lot of money. But this was money earned, not debt. It wouldn't count as points. Without points, you couldn't exchange for technology. Without technology, what's the point of 10 million? Actually, doing business? That would be truly stupid. You'd probably lose it all in the end. You still had a clear understanding of yourself. With total dominance, you could get rich. Doing business honestly, you'd definitely suffer heavy losses. When it came to schemes in the business world, you were simply too young. As for heartless things like scamming users, you had a great future ahead, and there was no need to stain yourself. The two were at a stalemate, clearly both dissatisfied with the other's proposal. I have an idea. Suddenly, Xiao Jiangwo spoke up with a suggestion. What idea? Both Guang Yu and Yu looked at him. You take the building. Xiao Jiangwo pointed at Hu Guangyu, then pointed at Yu and said, You take the 10 million. Seeing them both looking confused, Xiao Jiangwo hurriedly added, Then the key point is, then little brother Chun, you go set up an industry? Preferably something you can brag about, and whose value is hard to verify. Then use that industry as collateral to take a loan from our bank. Feasible? You raised an eyebrow. This method sounded logical, but in practice it wasn't that simple. Zhao Jiangwo nodded and said, If it were me, even if I had double the courage, I wouldn't dare approve this loan for you. But there's Vice President Liu above me, and young Master Hu's old man above him. This can be arranged. As long as it's not too obvious, no one will be able to find fault. But there's one key point. Hu Guangyu suddenly spoke and looked at you, reminding you, once we do this, you will truly be in debt for 80 million. For this kind of something-for-nothing contract, the interest will also be high. If you can truly leverage it into massive wealth, fine. But if you're just doing ordinary business, I advise you to think twice. The money you earn might not even cover the interest. Don't mess it up, otherwise you'll really end up in prison. Don't worry, I have confidence. You nodded, and? Zhao Jiangwo suddenly said, Let me add one thing. Involving such a large amount, and given your special situation, I need certain guarantees. So no matter what you do, the person managing the accounts must be from our bank. To prevent you from running into danger, our bank will arrange 2 bodyguards for you. Their salaries will be paid by us. Lastly, the most important point is that if your business suffers a large-scale loss, we can demand immediate repayment at any time. Good Lord, you couldn't help but look at Zhao Jiangwo with new respect. The accountant is your person, meaning the money can't be spent recklessly. It must be used reasonably. The bodyguards are your people, protecting me. They're more like keeping an eye on me. Afraid I'll run away. This is the only and most reasonable way for you to get 80 million. Zhao Jianghuo smiled bitterly and said, Don't look at me like that. If everything is lost, or if you run away, the rest of my life is over. Fine, I agree. You nodded. To you, none of that mattered. What mattered was the end-of-month settlement to get points for technology, and then starting the dominant game. Losing money was absolutely impossible. What is a technological dimension strike? You play a pair of 2 south, I play a joker bomb. You play a pair of 3 south, I play a joker bomb. You play a single card, I play a joker bomb. That's right, my whole hand is joker bombs. How can I lose? Let's sign the contract. Seeing that you agreed, Zhao Jiangwo didn't say anything more. He took out the prepared contract. Then he pulled out a blank sheet of paper, saying, "You don't have to worry about us backing out later. I'll write you a letter of commitment. In case we back out, I'll go to jail with you." He started writing quickly. After finishing, he pressed his fingerprint, signed his name, and handed it to you. Pay attention to this thing. No one except us can find out about it. Take a look at the contents. If it works for you, I'll seal it up. After you finish your loan, you must return it to me exactly as it was. Don't open it at any point, because I can't be sure whether you will. Zhao Jiangwo spoke solemnly. You took it and glanced at it for a moment, nodded and said it's fine. Seal it up, Zhao Jiangwo nodded. He pulled out a special envelope, folded the commitment letter and put it inside, then sealed it shut. You could tell, it seemed to be a special kind of glue. The smell was sharp. Ordinary ways would surely damage the surface if opened. To take out the commitment letter. All right, sign now. The contract was pushed to you. You signed your name quickly. Then you and Hu Guangyu pressed your fingerprints together. Pleasure working together. Hu Guangyu let out a long breath. He transferred 10 million to you on the spot. Pleasure working together. You stood up to see them out. Until the two of them left. Yunhai Group, you frowned slightly. This move of yours has truly offended Yunhai Group. Your previous self was a Yunhai employee. You know Yunhai well. Yunhai Group isn't a small company. It spans multiple industries. It's a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. One of the top 500 private companies in China. Its main business is beverages. That means bottled water, flavored soda, and juice. Besides that, they also make health foods, canned goods, and snacks. Instant noodles and self-heating pots and so on were your previous job. You were a food tech staff before, specialized in developing convenience foods and snacks. When you first joined, Yunhai Group wanted to enter dairy and finance, but ended up losing money big time. Its market value was nearly slashed in half. Only recently did it recover. Now they're into real estate. It must be led by the key family executives. A few years ago, as property prices kept rising, the government started to pay attention. Everyone tried to block and contain the growth, trying to curb the rise in housing prices. Real estate has basically become a sunset industry. Getting involved now, seriously, that's crazy. Or they're trying to squeeze in one last payday during the final boom. Thinking of what happened to Wang Real Estate and Yunhai Group's internal struggles, you suddenly understood something. Probably the latter. But since it's already done, I can't just let it slide. Waiting for trouble to come to me isn't my style. I'll take the initiative. Your gaze unconsciously looked at the cheapest technologies in the system. Healthy water quality improvement technology, rated at 5,000 points. Honestly, it'd be better to buy genetic purification solution. Food and beverage formula optimization technology, rated at 5,000 points. That's good. This 100. Wretched life, enjoy a good life. If I buy these two technologies, dealing with Yunhai Group will be a breeze. No, actually, I'll take on a world-class beverage brand. Yunhai Group is nothing. When collateral damage hits, it'll crush them too. That's how I'll do it. You flash a subtle smile. Pulled out your phone and checked the balance, 10 million. He searched for a moment, found an old classmate's number.
Hey, Gangzy.
I heard your hometown is famous for longevity. The water quality is really good. There's even a patch of natural spring water. I'm unemployed now, planning to start a business and want to check out your area. No need to take time off. Just hang out with me whenever you get a chance. All right, that's the deal. Okay, I'll book a ticket. Heading over now. See you at noon, in more than an hour. You casually open the door. And wow, there are actually 4 people standing outside. One of them raised his hand, about to knock. Both sides got startled. Damn, seeing two big guys. You quickly stepped back. That's when you saw Zhao Jiangzhou, the bank manager, standing behind them. What's going on? You breathed a sigh of relief. Zhao Jiangguo was startled too. He was about to speak, but noticed the bag on your back. He got suspicious right away. Where are you going? He couldn't help but be suspicious. Now everything's settled. The biggest loser in the world besides Yunhai Group is him. To impress young Master Hu, he took charge of the follow-up. He wrote the commitment letter for you. He just wanted to impress young Master Hu at the time. The more he thought about it afterwards, the more anxious he got. Just to show off, he left evidence that could completely ruin himself. Was it worth it? He quickly started using his contacts. Found two capable veterans. Then carefully picked a good accountant. And rushed over. The whole point of coming here is for this. Just in case. And it just so happened to collide. You look like you're about to run off. You don't want that 80 million? Zhao Jiangguo asked in a trembling voice. You replied, surprised. Of course I do. Looking at Zhao Jiangguo's expression, you suddenly understood. You said speechlessly, these must be the bodyguards and accountants you found, right? Wow, aren't you being a bit too anxious? The money hasn't even arrived yet, and you already brought people. The money in my pocket is mine. I don't need you managing it. Zhao Jiangguo quietly breathed a sigh of relief. He smiled and said, it won't be long now anyway. Once you decide what you want to do, and prepare everything ahead of time, you can apply any time. Once you apply, the funds will be approved. They're all on fixed salaries. No matter when they come, they get paid the same. Isn't this to ensure your safety? I don't buy it. You're just trying to keep the promissory note safe, right? You replied speechlessly. I made an appointment to check out a project with an old classmate in his hometown. If it works out, I'll make a decision soon. I'm not planning on running away. So stop worrying about it. Believe me, I'm more anxious than you are. Just bring them along. It's safer and more convenient. Not only will you have someone to look after you, they can handle all the hard and dirty work too. As he spoke, Zhao Jiangguo pointed at the fourth person. It was the young woman standing next to him. You looked up at her. She was just growing into womanhood. Her face still had some baby fat. She wore professional attire, and was young and attractive. She had delicate features, striking but not tacky. The kind of beauty that grows on you the more you look at her. Definitely a beauty. She's going to do the dirty work? Oh, Zhao, what are you doing? Punishing her or something? You found it odd. The young woman looked up too. Her big eyes were full of curiosity and anger. Hello, my name is Lu Wangshu. From now on, I'll be your secretary and assistant, also handling finance and daily affairs. Our bank manager gave one instruction. Don't leave your side. I hope you'll accept this. She spoke in a soft, gentle voice. Lu Wanshu was silently annoyed. She actually hoped you would refuse, as she really didn't want this gig. But it was her own mistake. Zhao Jiangguo assigned it to her immediately, so she didn't even have a chance to say no. Quit the job? No way. Making a mistake and running off wouldn't work. Her dad would lecture her for years. Besides, everyone would hear about her quitting because of this mistake. She'd never live it down. How could she show her face in front of friends and family? She'd be a laughingstock for years. You guys know that girl, right? She made an 80 million bank error at work, then quit and ran off herself. Yeah, that's her. Just thinking about it gives her goosebumps. She took a deep breath. Lu Wangshu stared at you, blinking her eyes. She was curious too. She just entered the wrong amount, but you made such major moves. Even her picky father called you a real talent. So young, how does he think so quickly? And where does he get that kind of nerve? Are there really people who seize opportunities without hesitation? Doesn't he ever hesitate? Isn't he ever uncertain? Doesn't he ever waver? Why is he so decisive? One wrong step, and you could seriously end up in jail. While she wondered, You heard this familiar, distinctive voice, and suddenly realized, oh, you're the one who transferred the money by mistake, right? Lu Wanshu's face darkened instantly. Zhao Jianguo just grunted twice. That's right, it's her. People like that. Let her be someone else's problem. Our bank is full of people with bad hearts. Can't handle these shocks. You're having her manage my money? You were surprised for once. You pulled old Zhao aside and whispered, aren't you afraid she bankrupt me? Absolutely not. Zhao Jianguo's face changed a little. But he started to have doubts inside. Still, he forced a smile and said, back when she was transferred to our branch. I read her background. Top university graduate, major in accounting, got all kinds of certifications. I never believed someone that talented would come to a small place like ours. After all, big investment banks or major state-owned banks would want her, and she definitely wouldn't be turned down. Now that I think about it, maybe she was sent by fate for you. Brother Chan, you're the strategist. She's the powerhouse. You two are a perfect pair. He thought to himself, no wonder such a good resume landed here. So she's skilled academically but unreliable personally. Maybe I should switch to someone else. But everyone's already here, and even if a mistake happens, it should still be manageable. You're so cunning. I'm sure you can handle it. Thinking this, Zhao Jianguo dropped the formalities and said to you, Brother Chan, we'll leave it at that. Whatever you need to do, just take the three of them. Let me introduce you. This is Wang Gang, and this is Zheng Kong, both retired top soldiers this year. They can definitely guarantee your safety. So basically you're telling me there's no way I could ever run, right? You joked. All right, they're fine. Just a few more mouths to feed, a few more tickets, and 2 more bets. They can come with me then. All right then, I'll let you get to work. I'm heading back first. Mr. Hu and Boss Wang went to discuss business. That should be about over now, so I need to go see them off. Zhao Jianguo gave a quick farewell and hurried off. Upon hearing the news, you were slightly stunned. This young master who is probably playing both sides. No wonder he so casually put up 10 million. He's probably making good money from Wang Yaozu too. But when you think about it, it makes sense. Going out of one's way to cross Yunhai Group, but your few million in profit, isn't really worth it to him. He did it to save his own people, but any success Wang Yaozu has is entirely due to his own resilience. Sacrificing a little future profit is understandable. All right, let's head out. Yongchang Jingjiang New District Business Center. The Yunhai Group Tower stands here. Unlike the factories spread throughout Dongzhong Province, and even outside the province, Yunhai Group Tower doesn't handle production. It's in charge of sales, managing the distribution channels, network, and finance, among other things. The founder of Yunhai Group was the now deceased Qi Yunhai. The entire Yunhai Group used to belong to the Qi family, a family business. But a few years ago, after Qi Yunhai passed away, his eldest son took control of the group. His eldest son is very ambitious. He invested heavily to build Yunhai Tower and brought in capital from the financial sector, looking to expand into finance, livestock, and other new industries. Unfortunately, the steps were taken too aggressively. In just 2 or 3 years, Yunhai Group suffered major losses in several emerging industries. The group's assets were cut in half. Although after going public, splitting up shares, and raising funds, Yunhai Group has managed to recover. But the Yunhai Group of today is no longer under Qi family's control. The Qi family is more like a mascot now. They hold less than 15% of the shares. The rest of the shares are mostly owned by various capitals. Although the Qi family patriarch is nominally the chairman, he has actually been sidelined for a while. The current president of Yunhai Group is a professional manager named Fan Wenping. Fan Wenping is a man in his 40s, in the prime of his life. He served as a senior executive in many companies. Because he has exceptional skills, several investors jointly recruited him as president. Young, passionate, cautious, energetic, and full of drive. Highly capable. Excellent vision and a broad perspective. This is how many headhunting firms describe him. After becoming president of Yunhai Group, with the help of capital,
He managed in just 2 months.
to complete the company's internal restructuring and division. He carried out massive layoffs and streamlined key personnel. He also used this opportunity to sideline the chairman. There's no denying he's really skilled. He has the trust of the investors and the support of the employees. Currently, Fan Wenping has the final say in Yunhai Group, just like the Qi family did in the past. At this moment, an internal meeting is underway. The big screen is showing a rundown of the situation, using text and images to illustrate, laying out all the causes and effects for everyone to see. A woman in formal attire spoke calmly. That's the course of events. Although I don't agree with the group being involved in the almost sunset industry of real estate, but since it's already happened, we absolutely cannot let the Yunhai Group's reputation be trampled underfoot. This will cause capital ratings to drop. I'd like the key family members, as well as everyone present, to provide solutions. Jiang Wanin, department head, you're talking too much. At this moment, Qi Yuming suddenly spoke up, with a very displeased expression. Is it really me who's talking too much? Jiang Guanin's cold and beautiful face remained expressionless as she replied, if you lack the ability, don't take action. The more you do, the more mistakes you make and the more you lose face. What I just said? Key department head, what's your opinion? Qi Yuming became furious, shooting upright from his seat. Fan Wenping, sitting at the head of the table, waved his hand. Signaled, that's enough. Sit down, don't argue. What I need now are solutions. Yuming, be cooperative. Sit down, the Qi family patriarch, seated in the secondary seat, who is now Chairman Qi Ruwa. Everyone below quietly sighed in relief. The power struggles up top create so much pressure for them. Friends at headquarters have sent a letter, putting pressure from above. Vice President Zhou said he's powerless. Someone spoke up, based on investigations. It's the East River Director for Financial and Economic Affairs, who made a call. Another person spoke up. Is it possible for the investors to intervene a little? Qi Ruwa looked at Fan Wenping. That's no longer possible. Some matters aren't just about interests, but involve much deeper issues. You could say it was a twist of fate. Fan Wenping shook his head. So are we just going to give up? Qi Yuming wasn't willing to accept that. Especially seeing that familiar face on the PPT, he gritted his teeth with hatred. Is this revenge? All because of some nasty woman. This revenge is a bit excessive. From now on, the Qi family has even less control over Yunhai Group. We've dropped another level. That wicked woman is the reason. He wished he could go back and completely thrash that woman. If we don't give up, what else can we do? This place has always valued connections and rules. The aggressive capital approach doesn't work well here. A returning executive spoke coldly. All right, Fan Wenping once again waved his hand. Just a small investment from Wang Real Estate. The loss is significant, but still within acceptable limits. As long as it's investment, nothing is absolutely safe. This should have been considered before starting. If you fail, that's how it is. Although the unexpected factor now is just that petty person called you. Yunhai Group isn't afraid to lose, but rather can afford to lose. Especially not to some ordinary nobody. Still someone our group expelled. Now you need to seriously think about how to restore our reputation and prevent our ratings from dropping. Once those words were spoken, the conference room instantly fell silent. Just as Fan Wenping said, losing is normal, but losing to a nobody isn't just frustrating. It's a matter of saving face and keeping our rating intact. You say it's a surprise, but outsiders need to believe that. What needs to be done now is to keep rumors contained, or let the outside know Yunhai Group didn't lose in a shameful way. Either let the outside world know Yunhai Group is not to be messed with. All right, meeting adjourned. Anyone who figures something out, come find me in my office. Wait a moment. No answer comes up. Fan Wenping can't sit still. Gets up helplessly.
He and Qi Ruwa had just left.
The conference room instantly erupted into chaos. The executives all started discussing. This is a tough one. From the information we've seen, that guy is a total badass. He just got fired by us. I heard he's even sick. It's hard to even get back at him. Yeah, he's really tough to deal with. There's not even anything about him we can target. Unless we expose what's really going on behind this incident. That's crazy. That's the kind of thing you only talk about privately. Think about how many people are involved. As long as the big boss upstairs is fine. Doing this is no different than picking a fight with a monk at the foot of Lingshan. You're absolutely right. This incident can't actually take anyone down. No one suffered any real loss. If this really gets out, we'll just become a huge joke, played by someone our own company fired. If nothing else works, we'll have to go with the old trick. Hyping him up is also a strategy. As long as we hype him up enough, then our loss won't look so bad. I don't see that happening. It's one thing to hype up big institutions in the past. But how do you hype up someone who caused all this trouble? Even if Zhuzhling were reborn, someone has to believe it. Yeah, it's completely unbelievable. It's not just unbelievable to hype him up, this person's whole operation. The more I think about it, the crazier it seems. You're just realizing that now? That PPT just left me stunned. I was totally at a loss. My head is still buzzing. Someone this talented. Who was it that decided to fire him? This is just inhuman behavior. Utterly outrageous. President's office. Fan Wenping sat down heavily, asked the secretary to pour him some tea, pressed his forehead and rubbed his brow. What a mess. Any solution the other execs could think of, he obviously couldn't come up with either. It's just that those ideas are either impossible to implement, or if we do try them, they're even crazier. In the business world, boasting is a common tactic. When two sides compete in business, the loser usually talks the winner up. The winner looks generous and gracious. And it doesn't look like we're weak, just that the other side was too strong. And in the end, it's almost like conceding and begging for mercy in a roundabout way, giving the other side enough face. And that's the end of it. They say business is like war. But there's another saying, there are only eternal interests, no eternal enemies. Business rivalries are all about profit. Losing means giving up the benefit. But that doesn't make enemies. After all, money is endless. You might even have to work together later on. It's rare for people to fight to the death, and it's hard to survive long in the business world that way. Suddenly, the secretary stepped up and whispered. The head of the Convenience Food Product Development Department says he has a way to solve this. He's waiting outside. Fan Wenming was a bit surprised. Sat, if I remember right, you're from that department too. He was the one who decided to fire him. Let him in. I want to see what he's got. Soon the secretary led in a young man. The young man stood tall, dressed sharply, full of confidence, looking like he already had things in the bag. The key was, his last name wasn't He. To be so young and already be a department head, and not even be from the Key family. Could it be there's another talent in our company? Maybe I really have been neglecting such abilities, letting real strategists go, and leaving mediocre people stuck here. Fan Wenping mused to himself. He was already starting to find this a bit hard to take. Thinking about the Three Kingdoms before, he always thought it was exaggerated and romanticized, with so little information. No matter how smart you are, it's impossible to be in total command and win from 1,000 miles away. But today,
He suddenly felt he should read the Three Kingdoms again.
pulling chestnuts from the fire and forming shifting alliances, teach him a lesson? President, the young man said confidently, which made Fan Wenping even more expectant. I heard from the secretary that you have a plan. Whatever it is, just say it. Whether it works or not, I won't blame you. Fan Wenping made his tone very humble, unconsciously mimicking a gesture from a TV drama. Thank you, President. The young man was quite excited. First apologized and said, sorry. President, I'm in charge of the tech department. It was me who approved the firing. He was sick, had worked too long. I was afraid it might cause unexpected losses to the company. After this happened, I felt a heavy responsibility, ashamed to the company. After all, he worked under me, did everything to prevent it but still failed, and ended up causing the company such a big loss. He is just too hateful. We even gave him extra severance compensation, because he left from my department. After the incident, I was the first to get the news, and immediately arranged for someone to investigate him. As far as I know, he mentioned in a private staff chat group that he wanted to buy a building that was never completed. Not many people know about our plan for Wang Real Estate, so there has to be a leak. We could charge him with stealing trade secrets and send him and the mole to jail on the grounds of leaking corporate secrets. No, that's not going to work, Fan Wenping said, disappointed, shaking his head. Too many people know about this.
Besides,
This is really just about Key's family reputation. There are no real trade secrets regarding Wang Real Estate, so the accusation of stealing trade secrets won't hold up. The young man's eyes flickered, sighed. I've already got his whereabouts. He went down to Yuming Lake in Wuxian. And he really is sick. If someone pushed him. Wait, Fan Wenping suddenly had a bad feeling. Asked, did he go anywhere else? Did you have someone tail him or not? The young man shook his head. Fan Wenping finally breathed a sigh of relief. But the young man smiled and said, I have his info. I know his address. I had 5 people follow him. Now, as soon as you give the order, President, those 5 will wait for an isolated spot. Then grab him and throw him into the lake. No one will ever know. No one will suspect us at all. This way, not only will he learn his lesson, but people who are sharp will also realize they can't look down on Yunhai Group. Bam! Fan Wenping jumped up suddenly and slammed the table hard, face turning red, and roared, Get the hell out. The young man was stunned, had no idea what to do. Get out! Fan Wenping yelled again. The young man was instantly scared and scrambled out in a panic. The secretary was startled by the commotion, quickly ran over. Find out who brought him in. Who is he working for? Who are his subordinates? Is it the Key family? Is it the Key family? Fire every damn one of them. Fire them all. Fan Wenping was furious. The secretary hurried out after hearing this. Fan Wenping paused to catch his breath. But he was still angry. He paced back and forth in the office.
he picked up his cup to take a sip.
But in his rage, he smashed it to the ground. Damn it, damn it. Damn it, I heard a long time ago the Key family played dirty. Didn't expect they were this dirty. I'm here to be a professional manager. Damn, they actually want me to run a criminal outfit. Hell, they're trying to drag me down with them. The more Fan Wenping thought about it, the angrier he got. And the more frightened he became. Luckily, he didn't say whoever solves the problem gets rewarded, but asked for a specific solution instead. If he had put it a different way, you'd probably be lying at the bottom of the lake by now. Wouldn't that make me the mastermind behind it all? He broke out in a cold sweat. Fan Wenping picked up the phone and dialed out. Hello, Director Zhang Wanning. Come to my office for a minute. I've discovered something. There are still some problems within our company. There may be some layoffs you need to handle. After the call hung up, Fan Wenping sat down. He rubbed his head. What kind of people are these? Seriously. This company isn't your family business. You're just an employee. How much do you even make a year? Risk your life for the Key family? What did they even give you? Yuming Lake, Wuxian County. The autumn breeze was blowing. The water rippled gently. You're sitting on a little boat. You're sitting cross-legged, enjoying yourself. Lu Wangshu, meanwhile, brewed tea for fun on her own. You unlocked your phone, just about to remind your old classmate. But instead, you saw a bunch of WeChat messages. Finance Department, Sun Miao. Hey! You bought an entire building. Weren't you too poor to afford a house? Isn't that why you bought a half-finished one? But you actually bought a whole half-finished building. General Service Department, Sukian. Seriously? Wow, boss struck it rich. You get rich the moment you leave the job. Did you realize working isn't fun? So you went home to inherit billions. HR Department, Liu Yun. It's real. I saw the info from the internal meeting. The name matches the photo. It's really him. Tech Department, Wang Qi. An entire building. Quality Control Department, Zhao Hai. Oh my god. Young Master Chen, is this rich? Then why borrow money from us for the experience? Sales Department, Zhang Feng. I always knew people aren't the same. Some people are born to work hard for others. Others can fake it all they want, but they're only ever just the ones getting ridden. Tech Department, Zhao Nan. He borrowed from me last time too. I didn't lend it, my loss. Got to hold tight to this big boss. Besides the group chat, there were also D-Miss, Finance Department, Sun Miao, Bro, Boss. Please, I'm begging you. Whatever you do, don't tell anyone it was me who borrowed from you. Otherwise, I'm done for. You have no idea just how earth-shattering the thing you did was. Now the whole group is in an uproar. The management's gone mad. You reply, okay. You'll definitely get rewarded later. Finance Department, Sun Miao, next message. From Tech Department Supervisor. Do you even know what you've done? Why would you do this? The company never owed you anything. You should be grateful. You reply, moron, then block and delete him. Next is from that bitch Jin Yelin. Where did you get all that money? Didn't you say you'd give me everything? Layer stingy cheapskate guy. Look at how stingy you are. No matter how rich you get, you can't compare to young Master Key, blah blah blah. Your eyelids are twitching just reading this. You replied without hesitation. I didn't give you everything. There's still one thing I didn't give you. Isn't your mom always unwell? Next time I'm sending you her ashes. Block and delete, done in one go. What is wrong with these people? I've really seen it all. You sigh, and at that moment your phone rings. You look up towards the bank. Someone on shore is waving with their phone. Soon the person came on board. He looked at Lu Angshu with some surprise. With Zenkong Wangang and Yang Ziai. Is this your girlfriend? Are those two? You raised your hand, refusing. I'm single. This is my assistant, Lu Wangshu. And those two are Zenkong and Wangang, my bodyguards. Assistant and bodyguards. The visitor was stunned. So what's your deal? Did you come to Wexian to invest? You pointed at Yuming Lake, grinning. Gangzi. I'm planning to build a water bottling plant here. We'll produce beverages and mineral water. What do you think? You must be joking. Gangzi blurted out, not to mention anything else. Yuming Lake is fed by hidden underground rivers. Sure. And Wuxian is famous for longevity. But there's no mine here. It's just river water. Someone was just peeing by the river, and you think you can sell this? Only an idiot would buy it. The point is to make the impossible happen. But you look confident on the outside. Yet in your heart, you're thinking maybe we should pick a more reliable spot. I can't afford it either, can I? What's your deal anyway? Genzi sits down, still in shock. He looks at Lu Wangshu and the two bodyguards. Then glances around again. Feels like a dream. Wasn't this guy just simping not long ago? How did he suddenly strike it rich? You gaze at the glittering lake in the sunlight. And ask, is this a natural lake? Why hasn't it been turned into a scenic spot? Are you really serious about this? Gangzi still can't quite believe it. But he replies, Yongcheng is the provincial capital. There are quite a few scenic spots around. Although Wuxian is managed by Yongcheng, it's still kind of remote. Plus, most of Wuxian's young people have gone to Yongcheng to work. Our local economy in Wuxian can't even get moving, let alone tourism. This reservoir is nice, but it's too out of the way. If you want to turn it into a tourist spot, you need major construction. Not worth it, the county did consider it years ago. But after weighing everything out, they gave up. But if you really want to contract this reservoir, the price won't be cheap. Ganzi actually works in the public sector. Wuxian is his hometown. After graduation, he came back and took the civil service exam. He knows everything about Wuxian inside and out. How much are we talking about, you ask? Hard to say the exact price. Genzi frowns a bit. He thinks for a moment. The reservoir is pretty big, but not huge. Because it connects to underground rivers, you can't really do aquaculture here either. I remember a few years back someone wanted to contract it, but after expert inspection they gave up. Back then the county price was about 20 million. For a 30-year contract. At that point, Gangzi can't help but say Yang Ziai, quit messing around. Where would you get the money? Even if you had money, why waste it like this? Take my advice. Let's just go eat now. After we eat, you should go straight back to Yongcheng. You can't just throw this money away. Don't you know me by now? You smile and say, I'm totally confident about this. Think about what I do for a living. If I dare to start my own business, you think I don't have what it takes? What do you do? Food product development. Gangzi hesitates a bit, then realizes where you work. Yunhai Group. Didn't they make their name selling mineral water? Could he know some core technology? But what core technology could there possibly be in mineral water? Gangzi is still baffled. You're really not joking? Really not. Okay then, I'll help you ask around. Gangzi's pretty straightforward. He takes out his phone and calls someone. He gets up and walks to the bow of the boat. After chatting for a bit, he keeps thanking them. So I asked a friend about it. If you really want to get it, you can negotiate. Around 15 million or so. Still a 30-year lease. Thanks. You nod and look at Lu Wangshu. You go negotiate. Try to keep it under 10 million. For 20 years. Lu Wangshu points at himself, completely stunned. You stroke your chin and say, right now you're my only top talent. If you don't go, who will? Lu Jiangshu tries to argue with you, but you say, or you can contact your branch manager and let someone more capable go. Lu Wangshu immediately lowers his head, frustrated and upset. He wants to argue but can't. The branch manager said, if you get replaced, you can pack up and leave right away. He really can't accept that. Fine, I'll go. Lu Wangshu grits his teeth. Once the boat docks, he leaves with Zenkong. You shrug, he's really not cut out for business. This was a serious gamble. No matter what others think, he sees it as just not being afraid of jail and having some backup from the system. Plus a lot of luck. All that planning and strategizing is nonsense. He's just a regular guy. He always believes in one thing. Let professionals handle professional things. Don't mess around yourself. Compared to a financial expert like Lu Wangshu, you think the only thing you should do is lay low, rely on your tech skills and win, and then start counting money. The details and stuff, he has no clue about. Let's go have a drink. You say goodbye. But Gangzi starts to worry a bit and asks, is it really okay to send him? Or should we go check it out too? Trust him, you drag Gangzi along without a word and go into a restaurant by the moonlight lake, eating and drinking. Until the afternoon, Lu Wangshu finally returns with Zenkong. He slumps into his seat, exhausted, looks at the leftovers on the table, and feels even more upset. After working for hours, he didn't even get to eat. Now he comes back and all that's left are leftovers. What kind of boss is this? It's done. Go ahead and ask, you say. Lu Wangshu speaks weakly. 9 million for 20 years. That's the lowest they'll go. They said they really can't explain it if it's any less. And obviously, they're not letting such a sucker go. They said the sooner the better. You could sign the contract this afternoon. Impressive, no wonder you're a pro. You give a thumbs up and tell the boss to bring more dishes. Lu Wangshu finally feels a bit comforted. Looking at your thumbs up, he can't help but smile. After lunch, you call a car. First you drop Gangzi off at home. Then you take the other two straight to the county. Hi, President Chen. The person greeting you is a middle-aged, balding man. Last name Liu, Deputy County Magistrate in charge of attracting investment in Wexian. He looks very friendly. Everyone sits down. After checking the agreement, you sign your name. Deputy County Magistrate Liu comes over to shake your hand. He smiles, President Chen, I heard you're contracting the reservoir. Planning to build a water plant? If you need anything from the county, just let us know. Here's my business card. Thank you for your support. You smile, shake his hand, and say, contracting the reservoir is only the first step. Next, the water plant and beverage factory will follow. I hope the county will support us when the time comes. Of course, no problem. Deputy County Magistrate Liu grins from ear to ear. Wexian being close to the provincial capital is good, but it's not all good. The good part is that it's easy for people to commute, but it's hard for the county to make real progress. Now that someone wants to open a factory, it's definitely good for the county even. if the industry itself seems a little out there. After saying goodbye, you return to the hotel with the others. You take a photo of the contract and send it to Zhao Jiangguo. Branch manager Zhao immediately calls you. Bro, are you serious right now? You got a reservoir for 9 million? Branch manager Zhao is super excited. Didn't we say we were going to do something that sounds impressive? Is it an industry that's hard to prove its value? This lousy reservoir can't bring in any profit. Don't just talk about me. Even if you were a king, I wouldn't dare lend you 80 million. The water quality is excellent. Drinking it can make you live longer. You make big claims every time you talk to me. Manager Zhao was speechless. Bro, it's not that I don't want to help you. This is real. Really, I'm not lying to you. Look at the health water enhancement tech within the system. Why is it called health water? Why not call it something like purified water? Because this isn't mineral water, nor is it any kind of purified water. It's a type of water that's been processed and enhanced, making it beneficial to the human body. To call it water doesn't do it justice, more like a health supplement. And it's a real, genuine supplement. The system has one line about it. Buying this is worse than buying a gene purification serum. What does that mean? It means this thing has a few of the effects of the gene purification serum. Maybe not even 1% of it. Possibly only 1,000. But at least it has some effect. Unfortunately, the points still haven't come in, so you can't take out a sample. The two sides argued for more than 10 minutes, but neither could convince the other. Zhao Jiangguo was feeling mentally drained. He felt stifled inside, wanting to speak harshly but couldn't. You were holding some dirt on him. If the kid couldn't handle the blow and reported him, that would be the end. Luckily, he'd arranged bodyguards and assistants ahead of time. As long as the money is guarded by Lu Wangshu, most likely nothing will go wrong. If losses start piling up, he'll just withdraw the rest of the loan, then shut down the factory, pack it up and sell it off. Even if he ends up losing some money, it shouldn't be enough to wipe him out completely. He's just doing a favor for young Master Hu, and when the time comes, Hu will probably help him out in return. Even if he loses his position as bank manager, that's still better than going to jail. Thinking about all this, Zhao Jiangguo's face fell, and he said weakly, I'll have Lu Wangshu prepare all the paperwork. The funds will be transferred within 3 days. You need to think carefully. If you can't pay back the money, you'll go to prison. Take care of yourself. He hung up the phone. You just shrugged. He never worries about those things. With advanced technology, how could you lose? Meanwhile, Zhao Jiangguo's expression softened a bit, feeling very regretful inside. After a moment of thought, he called Hu Guangyu. Who treats me just like this? I'm done for. That kid is really something else. He has no idea how to do business. All right. Thank you so much. I guarantee it's absolutely true. That kid has zero business acumen. He's borrowing 80 million just to sell bottled water. All right, I get it. Got it. That's it then. In a residential district in Yongcheng, Hu Guangyu hung up the phone in surprise. He just couldn't figure it out. At the dining table nearby, an old man was slowly sipping porridge. He asked, What's wrong? Did something happen? It's nothing major. Hu Guangyu frowned and explained the whole story. He said, At first, I thought this guy was worth making friends with. But what kind of operation is this? 80 million on bottled water? The national market is already dominated by big brands. Even just here in Dongjiang province, Yunhai Group, this giant, has the beverage market locked down. What he's doing is basically looking for trouble. Extraordinary people do extraordinary things. The old man continued wiping his mouth slowly and said calmly, Once you're old, nothing amazes you anymore. Crazy people will always act crazy their own way. Winners take all. Don't focus on what he's doing. Look at what results he gets. If he dare make such bold moves, unless he's an idiot, he must have some real confidence. Now you need to see if he's really worth befriending. You're right, Grandpa. Hu Guangyu suddenly realized. The next day, after you spent a night in Wexian, The four of you took the high-speed rail back to Yongcheng. As Lu Wangshu put it, since everything's ready, it's time to start recruiting. He doesn't know much about running a business, so he needs to find professionals. You agree that's reasonable, so you only slept until 10 a.m. By the time you all got to the job fair, it was already 11:30. Some companies looking to hire had already started packing up. Lu Wangshu couldn't help but complain. He had to call you several times to get you up. Now look, it's all over. How are we supposed to find anyone now? Just leave it to fate? Like picking beans, the small ones get sorted out first. The experienced ones definitely have temperaments. They won't accept those lousy benefits so easily. From those companies. You didn't care. You don't even have the money yet. So a day sooner or later doesn't matter. With advanced technology on your side, as long as you don't hire complete idiots, you'll achieve something big. Lu Wangshu went to rent a booth. Put up a temporary sign. And he just casually sat down. People passing by saw the scene. Their eyes instantly lit up. But few dared to step forward and recommend themselves. After all, there was an assistant and bodyguards. The bodyguards looked like gatekeepers. The whole setup didn't look like they were hiring ordinary staff. But there's always exceptions. A few minutes later, a scruffy guy, a disheveled, unshaven, down-and-out man approached. He plopped down on the seat. What positions are you hiring for? We're hiring for anything. What do you want to do? Just ask, we're hiring for anything. The man chuckled. Are you hiring a general manager? Do you think I'm qualified? I think so. You take out a contract and put it on the table. Sign it. The contract was prepared by Lu Wangshu. The company got green-lighted yesterday by Deputy County Chief Liu. He helped make it happen. The man was stunned. Lu Wangshu was also dumbfounded, staring at you. Is it really this casual? You smiled and said, what's there to be afraid of? What's there to be afraid of? The man opened the contract and said, Starsea Beverage and Food Co., Limited, just established yesterday. Looks like you're still in the setup phase. How much salary are you guys planning to offer me? You shook your head. I don't know how much you're worth, but you definitely know your own worth. Just write down your own salary for the position. Be confident enough. Even $1 million a year is fine. Well, damn. Jiang Lihai laughed. After sudden emotional and career setbacks, he was stuck at home for 2 months. Didn't expect to meet a lunatic after stepping out. But lunatics are good. Everyone feels like their life is an absolute failure. But this stranger in front of him is willing to trust him. Gives him a chance. A wave of heroic passion suddenly surged in his heart. He even felt a bit moved. You won't regret it. Jiang Lihai wrote general manager for the position. And wrote an annual salary of 800,000, then put down the pen. This price? No, I definitely won't mess around. I'll prove my value. Confidently, you gave a thumbs up and stood up. Why are you sitting here? Jiang Lihai froze when he heard that. What else? I'm hiring people. I've never hired before. Each industry has its own expertise. Since you're the professional, then you should handle the recruiting. Jiang Lihai heard this and felt even more touched. Just signed the contract and already given authority. What incredible trust. He got up and sat in the recruiting spot. Said in a deep voice, Boss, relax. Since you trust me, just tell me what positions to hire for. Leave the rest to me. Our company currently only has the boss, boss's assistant, boss's bodyguards, and boss. Only employee, which is you as the general manager. The rest, you decide who to hire. Jiang Lihai suddenly felt a chill in his head. He instantly sobered up. That moved feeling vanished. He even wondered if he was getting scammed. Second-generation rich kid starting a business. Or maybe a shell company. The boss is not only young, but also kind of sloppy. It's a startup. Just got a pretty assistant and 2 bodyguards first. Is this even legit? Is this company just for fun? What's going on? You patted him on the shoulder. Gave him a pep talk. This is an opportunity. An opportunity to improve yourself. A chance to build a company from scratch. The chance to create something out of nothing. You have to cherish it. Once you finish this, building a company from the ground up, even if you look for a job again later, you can highlight it in your resume. Then why not just start my own business? Jiang Laihai instinctively retorted. Do you have the money? You asked. And yeah, it's like Garen meets Ice Maiden. Silent and defenseless. Jiang Laihai was speechless. I get it. Let's go eat first. We'll bring you some when we get back. You smiled mischievously and left with Lu Wangshu and the other two. Jiang Laihai clenched his fist. Why the hell am I getting emotional? This damn boss is really something else. Fine, I'll check out the situation first. Anyway, haven't signed any NDA or loyalty agreement. No penalty for breach. If things go south, I'll bail immediately.